Okay, it is Tuesday evening, I think. Yes, okay, just double checking that. We are live on Twitch TV and Facebook. Let me just double check that I am getting the audio things ready to go for right now. Okay, so far so good on the audio. Sorry about the echo there, but want to make certain everything is where it needs to be so we can keep an eye, make certain everybody's able to hear things before we go too far down here. Facebook's really had some audio issues of late, among other things going on. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. This is the Tuesday, November 7th edition of Weather Overtime. Questions, concerns, anything you want to address or have questions about where it comes to our forecast, go ahead and drop those into the chat function for Twitch or into the comments section for Facebook, and we'll talk more about that. Key thing for tonight is going to be into tomorrow. We're looking at the potential for a lot more potential of the way of wildfires. You've heard us talk about this all week long since last week, Thursday, as the U.S. Drought Monitor put basically the entire News 12 viewing area under an extreme drought situation. And that, again, is not good news for anything involved in the update of the possibility of less amounts of rainfall, higher amounts of problems where it comes to wildfires with that lack of rainfall out there. No rain for today. 7 and nearly 3/4 inches behind for the year. We're almost an inch behind alone for November. We desperately need the rainfall, and looks like we may be getting some in the course of the next couple of days. The big problem tomorrow is going to be, again, the winds out there and the low humidity values. High temperature today, 83, normal of 65, so we were about 20 degrees above normal for this time of the year. Add to that, we broke a record high, blew it away by 3 degrees, last set in 2005. So way over normal for this time of the year, and we're probably going to be seeing even warmer conditions into tomorrow if we get enough sunshine. We'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little while. Here's what it looks like in about the last 24 hours where it came to anything involving fires. Now, bright to darker red is fires that got going within the last roughly 6 to 18 hours. A lot of the older fires, at least on this map, well off to the Pacific Northwest, and not too much except for along the coastline because of the fact that there's an atmospheric river coming through out here, and that is where we've got enough rainfall to kind of curtail a lot of the fires into the Intermountain West. So that's good news. What is not good news is the hundreds of wildfires that have popped up here, peppering the map. This is where we have seen a lot more in just the last 24 hours with those bright red circles. Again, orange and yellow, those are the older fires pushing 24-hour ago time for ignition. And again, notice some of those are right in the News 12 viewing area at this time. Burn bans are in effect for several counties around the area. Not going to take the time for that specifically tonight. You can find out details at WDEF.com for more information about what's going on there. So for right now, this is what it looks like for tonight. And I want to throw in one more thing, this advisory that had been posted as of yesterday. This has now been extended into Wednesday night, Thursday morning, according to the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality. Cherokee County in North Carolina, that's covered by the News 12 viewing area. That is the only county in the News 12 viewing area that is covered by this air quality alert. This is a code red air quality alert for areas into and around portions of western and southwestern North Carolina. This is in effect until Wednesday at midnight. This is a air quality alert for particulate matter. Ground level particulate matter concentrations in the region may approach or exceed unhealthy standards. Everyone, this is according to North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality, everyone may begin to experience health effects. Active children, adults, people with respiratory disease such as asthma should avoid prolonged outdoor exertion. Everyone else, especially children, should limit prolonged outdoor exertion. Again, this is something that will affect even the healthiest amount of people. What happens is a lot of the smoke that's around here being kept down by high pressure close to the surface. It's the valley areas where that smoke concentrates and where gravity holds those particles down. So in the valley areas, that is where we will see the greatest concentration of smoke. Now, overnight, there's going to be a decent amount of a temperature change a few thousand feet up. There's going to be an inversion in place. So tomorrow morning, it could be very hazy across the area, mixed with maybe some light fog, according to the National Weather Service in Morristown, Tennessee, which covers the News 12 viewing area over portions of southeastern Tennessee. So tomorrow morning, we could be looking at the potential of some very poor air quality and maybe the possibility of some very low visibilities in some areas. So that, again, could be something that could be a problem for commuters into tomorrow. So please keep that in mind. Check out Chip Chapman's forecast bright and early tomorrow morning, and he'll give you excuse me, an update as to what's going on. This pardon me, the smoke's causing some havoc with my windpipes for tonight. I don't have asthma, but it's just a smoky, dirty smell, and I've had more than enough in my way of clearing my throat, so I've had to keep a lot of water flowing. Again, makes it hard to do my job without clearing my throat every couple of seconds, so apologies for that. Special weather statement issued by the National Weather Service in Morristown, southeastern and eastern parts of Tennessee, again for tonight and especially into tomorrow. That's where we see the potential of wildfires catching and moving very quickly. Let's go ahead and show you a couple things as to why this is going to be happening. We've got this atmospheric river pushing moisture and storm systems off the Pacific onto the continent. Then they are racing across the continent, so there's nothing really to drop down this direction to give us anything in the way of precipitation or any weather changes. It's high pressure, which is doing a very good job of keeping things very quiet in the southeastern United States. But things are going to be changing as some high pressure over the Gulf of Alaska kind of acts like a cue ball to knock some of these systems farther down to the south and east. That is going to help us with some chances of rainfall in the next couple of days. Not early enough for my taste, but that'll be our best potential of getting things in here. As of right now, again, high pressure has been doing a marvelous job of keeping things very calm and dry and quiet, and unfortunately perfect for wildfire development. Here's our backlog of storm systems. As that area of high pressure knocks into this one, it's going to cause kind of a cascade effect for all these systems to kind of join up with each other and start making their way down to the south and east. That, combined with a developing area of low pressure, is going to help to develop the winds for tomorrow ahead of that next joined system, and that is going to give us the potential for winds into tomorrow. First of all, let's time things out. Again, tomorrow morning, looking at the bus stop time, temperatures back in the upper 40s to lower 50s. It should be clear, but it's probably going to be very hazy. And again, with that inversion, that temperature difference way up about several thousand feet, that could keep some of the air from circulating, and that means down toward the surface beneath that inversion, we could see some bad visibility tomorrow morning, so something to think about there. Temperatures tomorrow afternoon pushing the upper 70s. Record high for tomorrow in Chattanooga is 84. I think we may go a little higher than this, especially if we get enough sunshine. We blew away a record high today. Probably a good possibility we'll see that again into tomorrow. For early Thursday, we start to see more clouds in advance of that next system coming on through. That, again, will give us the potential for some clouds, but still too dry down toward the surface for anything involving rainfall. Most of those clouds should drop our temperatures a little bit as we go into Thursday afternoon. It looks like, according to this computer model, the mid-70s will be about as far as we get. Now, by early Friday morning, and here comes the good news finally, if everything works, temperatures will not be quite as chilly, but it will be cool, and there may be chances of rain around as we go into the early afternoon hours, sticking around and increasing as more moisture comes in off the Gulf and off of the Pacific. Now, again, we're still kind of iffy as to how much we're going to get by noon. We should get cloud cover and some scattered showers possible. Going into around dismissal time for the kids And right about Friday Night Football, it looks like we may be drying out a little bit. So hopefully by about kickoff time, that should not be a problem for rain. You may want to pack some rain gear anyway from Alabama into northern Georgia as we see the potential, maybe also western North Carolina. This should hopefully help our fire situation, should tamp down the fires, should do a very good job of making certain that we have a little bit less smoke out there. A lot of good news with this if it comes true. The only trouble is in these types of situations, again, about 3 to 4 days out, a lot can change. So we'll be watching this with a very heavy amount of interest in the course of the next few days. Now for wind gusts, as we go into tomorrow, the wind gust possibilities will really start to pick up before we start to get that cooler weather in here. So right about the dismissal time for the kids, we're not looking. Wind advisories from the National Weather Service start about 35, 40 miles per hour. We're going to be back in the lower 20 mile per hour range, so it's not going to be quite as major league choppy as a wind advisory could be. But as of right now, this is going to be the concern, that any of these fires that get going tomorrow, if it's a calm atmosphere, the fires will just burn in one particular direction, finding fuel wherever the flames can spread. In situations like this, when we have winds going a pretty normal direction, again, guiding from one way, say south to north, and a decent amount of speed, that can push the wildfires along and aggravate the situation. That is what we're looking at for tomorrow. So if anything starts out there, it's a good possibility. And it's not severe weather. It's not, again, tornadoes or hail or damaging thunderstorm winds. It's not anything like that. But what this is could be a threat to life and property just as much as any tornado can be. So tomorrow, if you see smoke rising from a certain area that wasn't there an hour or so before, time to alert the authorities. It's time to at least call the non-emergency numbers in your area, or at least call 911 if you can start seeing flames someplace. There's some great technology out there, as we showed you earlier, detecting the wildfires, but the main thing is that not any of the emergency services, not all of them, are going to have what they have on the ground, and that's you taking a look at things. So if you see something, say something. Don't assume that somebody else has already called it in, and it's worth a call to, again, the emergency hotline of whatever you have in your township, your city, your county, wherever. It's worth it to call them and say, did you know about a fire at this intersection or in this part of the county? And if they don't know about it, now they do, because you were able to call them. So please keep an eye on things tomorrow and make certain that you are able to keep an eye out for anything like that. If you see something, say something. Keep an eye out for anything happening like that, because when the fires catch, and all it's going to take is a cigarette butt tossed out the window, a stray spark from burning trash, which is not a good idea. Burn bans in effect in certain parts of the viewing area, so remember that. And if you have any outdoor burning permits, great. But now may not be the time to burn anything, even if you have a permit. So something to think about. What we need, again, is better conditions than what we've got now. This is where the fires can take off and spread maybe 20 miles per hour faster than usual. So please use caution tomorrow and keep an eye out for what may be heading in a general direction. So something to think about out there as we go throughout the course of the rest of the evening and through tomorrow afternoon, especially when these higher winds are coming on through. All right, from the Island Cove Marina and Resort, we usually try to feature more of the EPB webcams. You can reach them at wdef.com/weather if you'd like to see anything out there and what it may look like. But tonight we're just going to do this one camera because we've got so much else to talk about at this time. We've already been going now for a better part of 15 minutes, and we haven't gotten to a lot of the other stuff for tonight as well. So for tomorrow, again, record high is 84. Don't know if we'll hit that. We'll scrape very close to it if we don't, so something to think about there. Then temperatures drop into the weekend. That also escorts in the potential of rainfall coming on through. Best chance of rain will be starting off again late Thursday night into Friday morning, continuing through Veterans Day holiday coming up on Saturday, and then excuse me, some more chances of scattered showers possible as we get into around the area of Sunday. Yes, that may interfere with Friday night football, maybe with Veterans Day remembrance ceremonies outdoors, so pack some rain gear for those events. The main thing is we need the rainfall. So a little inconvenience at outdoor activities. That, again, is understandable, the frustration of picking up the rainfall, but we need that rain coming up on nearly 8 inches behind normal for the year. That is desperately dry, and we need that help to tamp down that wildfire danger, to keep property safe, and more importantly, to keep lives of people, livestock, pets, anyone around the area. These wildfires will pop up again very quickly and will spread very quickly. The good news is, if this rain holds, a little breezy on Friday with that rain around, and looking like maybe a good indoors weekend with those chances of rain showers out there, but that's going to be our next best chance of rain. We do still have some chances of rainfall coming up in the semi-near future beyond that. What we're seeing is, again, heading into around the weekend, Friday into Saturday, and then quite possibly a little bit more on Sunday. And then by next week, roughly a week away into Wednesday, we see more potential of scattered showers out there, and some of that could linger around into Thursday and maybe Friday of next week. Again, the time and date stamp up here. That is really good news at this time, to where we see that potential reappearing a little bit more. Again, November is typically one of the rainier months of this time of the year for Chattanooga and the Tennessee River Valley. We're hoping it stays that way. We'll see what happens. This is a very long-range forecast, and a lot can change between here and then, or now and then, I guess I should say. This is, again, something we're going to have to watch with, again, a lot of interest. This, we can't overemphasize this enough. It's dangerous tomorrow with the winds and the dry conditions. It's going to be not a severe weather situation. It's not a blizzard. It's not a high wind event per se, but it is going to be dangerous with those wildfires dotting the landscape. And all it's going to take is one push of the wind in one direction to intersect the fire with a lot of fuel in one particular location, and you're going to see a lot of problems very quickly. So this is, really can't overemphasize this, to make certain that you're paying attention to this for tomorrow. So definitely want to keep an eye out for that. All right, Greater Chattanooga Orthodontics bus stop forecast. Not quite chilly, not exactly all that warm either. Temperatures back in the mid-50s for low temperatures tomorrow morning. So at the bus stop, it will be a little brisk. And temperatures about the time things are out should be mostly sunny. Few clouds possible, and temperatures back in the lower 80s. Whether or not we hit that magic record high tomorrow of 84, a little bit on the iffy side. Otherwise, for going out and catching a fish, things are looking very good. Breezy, no question about that, so that could be a problem for any of the hunters out there or anybody else. Remember to check with your campground if you're going camping soon, if you're allowed to start a fire, because if you're not, that's a very bad thing. Don't think you can be arrested for that, as far as I know, but you need to check with your campground or the rangers who patrol that area if you can actually start a wildfire. Now, things like propane stoves, electric stoves, things like that, you should be able to use. As far as I know, you can use charcoal fires as long as you extinguish the coals and make certain that they're coaled out, as we used to say during Boy Scout campouts there. So for tomorrow afternoon, heading out on the golf course, same thing. Probably going to be some pretty good slices and hooks as we go into and around the area of tomorrow afternoon. Winds, again, gusting over 20, 25 miles per hour, so that could be just a bit of an issue. Air quality has fluctuated. We're back in the yellow moderate category as of the time we record this on Tuesday evening. Looks like we're going to be back to around the mid-70 range, moderate yellow category into Wednesday. That, excuse me, that not as bad as it could have been for today. We were approaching the 100 mark, which takes us up into unhealthy for sensitive groups. So we came relatively close on that forecast for today, but otherwise not seeing much of anything else. Many thanks to News 12 viewer Phil Stewart for sighting a bald eagle in the trees around the Tennessee River Gorge. Nice little view there. That's our West Shore Home weather window picture of the day. And if you've got weather pictures out there, we'd love to see them. We're running a little low, so if you could send them in to us, your snapshot could be the next West Shore Home weather window picture of the day. Drop them to us on our comments section of our social media pages, X, Instagram, and Facebook, or email them to us at pictures@wdef.com. And we'd love to see what you're seeing out there. Give us an idea as to what you were looking at, location description. You can be anonymous if you want to, but it would help me to know what you're talking about and where you were, things like that in a generic fashion, if at all possible. Don't forget to program your weather radio, which can pick up things like fire weather warnings from the National Weather Service and atmospheric reports to give you an idea as to what's going on. If you don't know how to program it, go to our website, wdef.com/weather, and we'd love to be able to show you a little bit more. There's a short video there to give you an idea as to what needs to be done to program these weather radios. They're run by a computer chip now, so again, you can program in the counties that you want to, and you can program in which alerts you want to be alerted for. So that'll come in very handy for things like that. So please make certain you get that done. Once again, from the National Weather Service in Morristown, special weather statement, which is should be up on their website into tomorrow, regarding the threat of wildfires over eastern Tennessee. And we also have, for areas of western North Carolina, the potential for some very poor air quality. Code red air quality alert, especially for Cherokee County in the News 12 viewing area. So keep that in mind. Lower valley areas with that inversion tomorrow may trap some of that smoke and concentrate it. So it could be very poor air quality as we go into Wednesday morning. So Chip Chapman will have more on that forecast again coming up tomorrow. Either way, again, please use caution and watch what's going on out there just to be on the safe side, to make certain that you're not in any imminent danger from any wildfires that possibly get going across the area. That should do it. The main points again for tonight are the wildfire danger risk and the winds pushing things along. So for right now, that's going to be the worst of the worst. There's no severe weather. We have rain in the near future, yes, but we have no severe weather coming up, so good news on that. And for right now, again, we're going into severe weather season number 2. Roughly speaking, between October and December, we have nothing taking place at this time. One thing I should mention, which I did not do last night, and I should have done, National Weather Services around the area teach severe weather skywarn spotter training. If you're in Hamilton County, mark your calendars, because the severe weather training session for 2024, for early 2024, has been posted. It'll be held at CHI Memorial. It's on 2525 DeSales Avenue in Chattanooga, February 9th. That's a Tuesday evening, 6 p.m. If you'd like to know more, and you should register because space is kind of limited, they'll be able to accept a decent amount of people. I think the room last year was set up for about 50 to 60 people. We only had about maybe a baker's dozen last year, but go ahead and register at their website, weather.gov/MRX. That's the 3-letter code for the National Weather Service in Morristown. Again, this is Skywarn training to get you ready to go for severe weather. And if you'd like to know more about this, again, all you have to do is go to weather.gov or just search out Skywarn, or we'll be posting links to this on our social media pages. But again, that's February 9th, 2024, 6 p.m. Eastern Time in Hamilton County for Chattanooga and Hamilton County residents, the first training session for the year. Anything else changes on that, we'll bring it to you as quickly as we can on air and online. Okay, that should do it for tonight. I think wanted to throw that in there for everybody's benefit, to get that on their calendar, to make certain everything is ready to go. I'll have more coming up on News 12 and 11 if you'd like to know more there, with Andrew Harrison and Rick Nyman for the rest of the evening. Chip Chapman has your forecast bright and early tomorrow morning on News 12, the morning show, starting at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll have more about the wildfire situation on social media and on our newscast throughout the rest of the day, so stay tuned for more on that. Live and direct, I'm Chief Meteorologist Austen Onek. Thanks for joining us for Weather Overtime for Tuesday evening, and stay tuned to News 12 on air and online at WDEF.com/weather for more.